Low oil pressure. First, check the oil level. Low oil level in oil pump will lead to low oil pressure. Then check the grade of oil filled. If it is not as per the specified grade, replace the engine oil with correct grade. Now check the oil pressure sensor on engine and gauge on cluster for their proper functioning. Choked oil filter will also lead to low oil pressure. If the oil filter is choked, replace the oil filter. Choked suction strainer will also lead to low oil pressure. Clean the suction strainer. If the gears of oil pump are worn out, there will be a drop in oil pressure. Replace the oil pump if required. Now check the big end bearing. If the big end bearing is worn out, there will be a drop in oil pressure. Take the further corrective actions to replace the big end bearing. More fuel consumption. A choked air filter element will lead to fuel consumption. Clean the air filter element or replace the element. If the clutch is not getting engaged properly due to improper clutch setting, it may lead to power loss, which will lead to more fuel consumption. Slippage of clutch due to oil leakage from rear main oil seal will also lead to power loss in the tractor and will consume more fuel. Replace the clutch plate and clean the pressure plate to resolve the issue. If the brakes are jammed, it will not allow the tractor to utilize its full power and will lead to more fuel consumption. In this case, check the brake settings. Overinflated and underinflated tire pressures will also lead to more fuel consumption. Maintain proper tire pressure. Check the tractor for wheel slippage. If there is wheel slippage, add cast iron weights or water ballasting on the rear wheel of the tractor. Then check the tappet setting. If wrong, adjust the tappets. After this, check the injector pressure. If the injection pressure is disturbed, adjust the pressure at an authorized Bosch dealer. Check the FIP spill cutoff and adjust it accordingly. If the elements of the FIP are worn out, then remove the FIP and get it overhauled from an authorized Bosch dealer. Engine not cranking. If engine is not cranking after ignition key is turned on, first ensure that all the levers are in natural condition, such as high-low shifter, PTO lever, and clutch should be in disengaged position before starting the tractor. The tractor fails to start. Then check the connection of all safety switches one by one. Further, check the continuity in all the switches using multimeter. Now check the battery terminals. If they have loosened or salt formation on terminal, clean the terminals and tighten the terminals. Check the connection at the starter motor. If the connection is loose, tighten the connection. Check the connection at ignition key. After all the above checks, if the tractor doesn't start, check the gravity of the battery with hydrometer and voltage of the battery with voltmeter. If necessary, charge the battery or fill electrolyte in battery. Now, check the solenoid switch for its functioning and then start a motor. All above checks are found okay. Then, try to rotate the engine manually from crank pulley. If the engine is not rotating manually, then further check the engine for seizure and do the necessary work. Oil dilution. First check whether it is oil which is mixed with engine oil or fuel dilution. For oil mixing with engine oil, first check the seal of hydraulic pump. Replace the damaged hydraulic pump oil seal. If fuel is mixed with engine oil, first check the injectors for dribbling. Get the injectors repaired from Bosch authorized dealer only. Parallelly, check the feed pump and if found faulty, get it repaired from authorized Bosch dealer. Engine overheating. First, check the coolant level in radiator. If necessary, top up the coolant level. Then check whether the fins of the radiator are choked with dust. If the radiator is choked with dust, clean the radiator fins with normal pressure. Now check the temperature sensor on engine and gauge on cluster for their proper functionings. Check the fan belt tension. If found loose, tighten the fan belt. Now remove the thermostat and check for its functioning. If not opening at desired temperature, replace the thermostat. Now check the water pump for any leakage or functioning of impeller. If water pump is leaking or the impeller is not functioning properly, replace the water pump. Now check the head gasket. If the head gasket is blown off, then also the engine will get overheated. Further, check whether any piston has been seized. If seized, take the further appropriate action on it. Water mixing with oil. Blown off head gasket will lead to water mixing with oil. First, check head gasket. For ITL engine, check the O-ring of the liners. If damaged, replace the O-rings of the liner. White or blue smoke. First, check the grade of oil filled. If it is not as per the specified grade, replace the engine oil with correct grade. If there is excessive oil consumption, then exhaust will emit white smoke. Incorrect tappet setting will also lead to emission of white smoke. Adjust the tappets. Now check the compression pressure. If compression pressure is less, it will lead to emission of white smoke. Now further check the piston rings and liners. Check the valve stem oil seal. If it is leaking, there will be oil consumption and will emit white smoke. For checking the valve stem oil seal, remove the inlet and exhaust manifold. Check if the ports are wet. Replace the valve stem oil seal. Emission of black smoke from silencer. Adulterated fuel can lead to emission of black smoke. Check the fuel quantity in the fuel tank. If adulterated, replace the fuel. Check the air filter element. If the air filter element is choked, exhaust will emit black smoke. Clean or replace the air filter element. Also, wrong gear selection, that is, if the RMP drop is more than 200, then select lower gears to further prevent black smoke. Excessive fuel consumption can lead to emission of black smoke. Check the parameters for fuel consumption. If fuel timing is wrong, then adjust the spill cutoff timing. Wrong fuel timing can lead to black smoke emission.